Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Madshot Road to Madness. It is a... I'm gonna have to go against myself and actually call this a Horde Survivor roguelike. I'm used to calling them Bullet Heavens because I still think that's the better genre term, but on the flip side, this very much is more of a Horde Survival kind of roguelike rather than Bullet Heaven, as you don't really actually get to the point where you're really spewing huge amounts of shots out. And in fact, I'm actually going to be rolling a melee build. I tried guns for this, but it was a little iffy. I found a lot more success with the sword for this demo, because it's not out yet. This is just a demo as part of the Steam Next Fest that I got access to, and it will be showing off. I think the demo is available for everybody to try, so if you guys feel like trying this out yourselves, trying other builds, trying out different weapons, there's a ton of weapons, by the way. Then go check it out on Steam. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And if it seems cool, hit the wishlist button. It helps the developer out. I should also mention, it has some flaws, but I did enjoy the process. And hopefully by the next time this demo is featured, in Next Fest or when the game hits early access, hopefully it'll be further along and have some more fun things to play with. But with that, hope you enjoy. Like, you need more mitigation or damage, or two. I think really just the answer is just a small amount of... Well, okay, here's exactly what it should be. Every time you get one of the level up perks, it should have a random stat up associated with it. And so, you might not want to go for the Frost, for example. But there's, maybe a 5 to 10% attack speed associated with it. Or like a heal or something, just like a little bit extra number at the bottom of some of these. So you really think like, do I want to go for Flourish, or do I want to go for this thing that I might not normally go for because it gives me like a +3 damage or something like that. Therefore, you're kind of inspired to try out different builds a little bit more, and then also would give you the opportunity to kind of cover some of your deficiencies, like, I don't do enough damage. At least, that's what I think. Third spin, third attack replaced with a spin. Kills have a chance to give you some HP. I mean, Ripple would be nice, but let's go for this one too. I don't know. I think there's a lot of different ways that this can be done. Oh, okay. Ooh. I love that spin. I think it's really cool. I don't like the fact that it makes my character pop up into the air. It might not be a problem, but I foresee that getting me killed. However, it is also an incredibly effective move at clearing a lot of the basic dudes. So I don't know. Anyway, so I think I'm going to kind of call it here. Kills have a chance of giving you health, just 5% across the board. Yeah, it's snagged that. Do I call it here, or do we finish this freaking run? I don't know. That's the tough part. I mean, the run's like 10 minutes long, so yeah, I guess I'll stick it out. Anyway, so the Madshot Road to Madness demo is available on Steam now as part of the Steam Next Fest, or I guess before it. It's pretty solid. It definitely needs a lot of work, but it's got a good base to work off of, and I like the fact that, for a Horde Survival, Bullet Heaven, whatever you want to call it, it's got a pretty solid set of mechanics, and since it's side-scrolling, it has a little bit more of an interesting hook compared to most of the other top-down ones that I've been playing over compared to all of the top-down ones I've been playing lately. And like that switch in perspective gives the game a lot of potential options. I don't know if they're capitalizing on it, but at least it feels different to play comparatively. Feels like we just had an X-Fest. Yeah. I mean, the last one was what? End of October or in November or something like that? Like, it's been a couple of months. The main thing is, the Next Fest now is kind of de facto 3 weeks long as developers kind of capitalize on the festival. We might want to grab as much attack speed as I possibly can. Extra kill streak on hit. Battle Frenzy, killing a foe makes your next attack do more damage. I guess I'll go bonus Battle Frenzy just because. Let's see. Not a lot of Next Fest games got released, though, and even less than that I ended up getting. Oh, yeah. I mean, so, one, a lot of games take time and energy to develop. So I wouldn't be surprised if quite a lot of developers are taking their time with their games, which means you might actually see like 1 or 2 bangers show up in like 2 different Next Fests, because you can participate as many times as you want. The only limitation is that you can't submit twice in a row. Yeah, the explodey dudes are still my biggest worry. Extra kill streak on multi-hit. Let's see. We already have Reaper, so we don't need to worry about that. What does Ripple do with the spin? Okay, it just fires a wave off. So now we might want to consider going Frost, but we have a lot more healing than we did. Knockback would be another thing that would actually be pretty rad for this. But, yeah, considering the last Next Fest was 3 months ago. Yeah, I mean, there are 3 Next Fests plus, there are also other festivals. So, like, Next Fest isn't even here yet, and we're still in the middle of the Builder Festival, which is going on, like, right now. I technically have some more demos from that, but I don't know, I find a lot of base builders to be a little generic for my tastes. Okay. Bonus kill streak, more damage button, airborne. Let's actually snag that, because I'm pretty sure I'm always airborne during my spin. There we go. And yeah, it certainly feels like I have more HP at the moment. I do not like those explosion radiuses. At least it's kind of easy, because if you're inside of them, you can actually just, like, get out before the explosion actually triggers, because you have a little bit of a red circle, and there's, like, a delay before it triggers. Base builders sometimes share the same issue as open world games, where it's like, yeah, you made a base, but why? I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the issue. I'm just gonna keep leveling up Reaper for that extra health. The main issue I have with a lot of base builders, and when I'm talking base builders, I guess I'm more thinking settlement builders, is not why, more why this one. That a lot of settlement builders feel kind of the same, so I'd asked for some recommendations from my YouTube audience, and it was just like a bunch of games that I'd already tried and found to feel kind of exactly the same from each other. Like there was the, what's the new one by the Grim Dawn developers? Farthest Frontier, I think? And it's like, it's fun, it's a good game, but it didn't feel really any different to me than Banished did. Let's see, kill streak on multi-hit, hover, or obliterator. I'm gonna go for obliterator. It's probably gonna kill me. But if it doesn't, then we'll be in a good spot. I just have to be not right next to enemies when they die. Because yeah, if we can get explosion immunity, that gets rid of pretty much my primary source of damage that I take. And war crime sims are also colony builders. Yeah, but there's like only one good RimWorld. And then there's a bunch of kind of okay clones-ish? I mean, I don't know, I guess it kind of depends a little bit. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. Immune to explosion damage, oh, fixes my problems. But yeah, problem is they're all alike as well. Yep. Alright, so I no longer have to fear these guys, so now we can just slay to our heart's content. As I will no longer take wild amounts of damage. Wait, what? Oh, that's how this character works. We have murder tentacles. I guess I'll keep that in mind. If I'm injured, I just need to go into Tentaman mode. Honestly, I actually kind of wish the game just played like that. Where you just have tentacles and move around as such. But yeah, I know they heal me for every enemy killed. That is on the box. And they're effective. Okay, so what do we want? Critical push. When you inflict knockback, higher chance of being a... Nah. Yeah. Bonus kill streak. Now let's go for critical push. Because I want to be able to knock back enemies, too. Yeah, carrion style bullet heaven might be cool, too. I mean, honestly, like, take any popular game, turn it into a wave survival mode with really interesting upgrades. I think, like, it would actually potentially be maybe not a better game, but you could really convert quite a lot of games into something quite fun by doing so. Like, I'm even thinking, like, Rain World or something. Like, kind of an endless mode where you're just running around surviving, and every day you get, like, a new power-up that you survive, but things get harder, enemies get wilier, and you're just kind of supposed to be running around. Yeah, so here's where we start hitting the point where my sword spins become kind of risky. We'll see. Let's see, Flourish. No, let's keep going Reaper. More HP is better. So is Factorio Rimworld. No. There are very mild similarities, but there are not many of them. And we really need that that attack speed upgrade to show up. And yeah, I mostly just have to watch out for the floors. At least I'm not dying to explosions anymore. That shit was getting kind of frustrating. Didn't Rain World get a DLC recently? Yeah, it did. It's got a bunch of different playable characters, local co-op, and a bunch of other things. Admittedly, this stuff was actually in just like a mod originally, but they kind of made it into an official DLC. Attack speed increased. Yes. But yeah, the Rain World DLC is pretty good. It's just I don't know. I like me some mid-run minor upgrades. Just fun little things to play around with and vary my playthrough a smidge. And my problem with Rain World is, while the different characters have unique features that make them interesting, it's still playing through Rain World like 4 or 5 times to get a slightly different experience. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, just to finish my thing on settlement builders, though, I legitimately was, I was thinking about, Against the Storm, which is probably my favorite of the settlement builders. Phantasm, Inflation. Let's see, every attack increases your damage, bonus on miss, damage is higher when standing still. I don't think these help me, because I keep jumping up a little bit. So let's go Discharge, I guess. There we go. But like, I really like Against the Storm, and I almost kind of feel like every settlement builder would actually benefit from just like weird little power-ups that change kind of how you play. You know, periodically. It's like, oh, here's a thing that like really makes you want to go for here's a thing that makes you really want to be like purely an agrarian society. Rather than, like, you know, skip all that hunter-gatherer stuff, turn everything to farmland. What's mining? I'm just gonna sell all of my vegetables for more ore, and stuff like that. So that, you know, if you play a settlement builder twice, you actually have a reason to do something different other than what you've been doing. Usually, for most settlement builders, it's do it again and try to not die. See, critical damage just being increased? Hell yeah. I like Stranded Alien Dawn. If only there were vehicles or animals that could be mounted. I will have to check that one out. I think Orbital had recommended that to me. Well, I'm certainly kicking ass with this build. I mean, honestly, once you gain the explosion immunity, this character this specific weapon combo becomes really good. I think if I were to do this again, I'd probably skip the second sword, because I barely used it this entire run. And I'd probably just, I don't know, grab something else. Not the bats, though. The bats were stinky. I feel like the bats should actually just be something that are perpetually out, don't need to be resummoned. And they just attack things for you as kind of a, like, hey, do you not want to pay any attention to your secondary weapon? Here you go. I was also kind of surprised that there were no upgrades for the bats. Chance of explosion, critical damage increased. Let's actually go for the critical damage. Because I have some flat damage problems that I would like solved. And yeah, we might actually also want to get this character the bonus essence drop. Perk chain. Because I think he benefits from it more. The slow-mo is nice, but hard for me to care about. Wow. I don't know if I... Well, no. The essence upgrade will probably make it so that I'm never out of tentacle mode. Maybe. Let's see. Dropping explosion when you take damage. Inflict slow. Let's go for splatter for the time being. 20% damage, 50% range. Let's see. Speaking of city builders, Frostpunk 2. Hope to see something on that soon. I wanted to like Frostpunk, but the whole game was kind of designed to make you regret your decisions. And I guess for me, I like positive decision-focused games rather than negative ones, if that makes more sense. So this game is a great example of a positive-focused, or positive choice-focused game, where every upgrade you pick is largely a positive upgrade for you in some way, shape, or form. And so when you're offered two choices, you're like, okay, do I want this good thing, or do I want that good thing? Frostpunk was, do I want crimes against humanity or suffering? And it's like, ooh, that's a little tougher. Let's see. Triggering knockback, bonus damage of... ooh, poke might not be bad, but I'm gonna go for bruise. We want the damage. Okay, let's go back to Tenta mode. Let's see. Solar Punk has space. Space junk tearing through your ship. Oxygen. Wait, Solar Punk. Is there a game called Solar Punk? Because I don't think I've heard of anything called Solar Punk, necessarily. Ah, referencing the genre. Got it. Well, I didn't mean to survive this long, but here I am. We just lost our combo. Whatever, I only needed to get it up to a certain point before I become unstoppable again. And we're back to big freaking murder. Okay. Base damage increased. And then rupture. Cell efficiency is kind of tempting. But yeah, let's go clash. Just get my bonus damage all the way up. There goes the boss. I was afraid that the spin would be... Oh, nope. Maybe there didn't go the boss. Unless there's another... There could be. Oh, it's fine. Back up to full health. And then I gotta murk the bat horror. Damn. I'm a cascade of destruction, and it's good feels. Okay, that was most assuredly a boss. Why is that the first one I've run into? I have no idea. Okay, critical damage, critical push, obliterator. Let's go for Vanquish. I just want to keep stacking my max damage as much as possible so I can just shred things. There we go. I don't like the sound effects for this game. I really don't. Like, everything is going oof, ah, at me constantly, and it's a little weird. At least we have all that, let's see, all of that bonus, wow, gold, actually. We have a shit ton. I'll actually be able to afford some upgrades here. But I think I'm going to stop after this run. It is actually starting to get good. You know, I think we just needed that one runaway run where everything got stupid. Let's see, breaknet for the attack speed? Absolutely. Yeah, Frostpunk is one of those one-time playthrough games. Because as soon as you know what to expect, you can prepare in advance. I would say two-time. First time is suffering, second time is doing it right and feeling good about yourself. I got like an okay ending, or okay ending. I don't actually know if there was really multiple endings for Frostpunk. Ooh, creepy squid things. And there's actually a decent amount of enemy variety in this game. You just have to survive long enough to see any of it. And, boy, it's a little hard to do that. They might actually have, like, meta progression later on. I'll admit these, like, squiddy things don't die quick. Okay, base damage further. Charge, discharge, inflation. Nah, let's go Rupture. Just more bonus damage. Is there an ending to Frostpunk? I mean, it's mostly just you get past the Murder Blizzard at the very end, and then the game kind of ends saying, like, congrats, you've managed to survive. Humanity might not die here. And then that's the end of it. What I'd love to do is actually, you know, play some games by that studio that aren't super depressing. Because, like, they make some incredible experiences. The problem is they're all super depressing on purpose. Because I believe those developers are, what are they, Polish or Ukrainian or something? Oh, holy smokes, that's a big sucker. And here's where I start dying, is there are too many enemies, and I can no longer efficiently kill them all fast enough. Okay, 11-bit is Polish, gotcha. Let's go for the slow drip. We might as well slow some things down. But, like, I crave... Oh, he fires homing shots. That's rude. Well, at least we can get back up to full health. We should go find him, though. Where are you, you demon jerk? I just feel like I should be able to destroy those. How the hell are you supposed to win this normally? I mean, I guess by being mystical cheese lord. Okay, I want to get close to him. I guess I should use the tentacles not to kill him faster. Well, I don't know. That's a toughie. Wow, they're all explosion enemies. You really do need explosion immunity. Let's see. I could do Battle Frenzy, but let's keep stacking Reaper for a little bit more. They publish some less depressing stuff, but most of their self-developed things are that way. I remember going to a talk about it, and just like, they're very committed to the idea of I would say kind of showing the depths of human suffering and reality and stuff in a way that I think most developers might not do a good job of it. I think there's only a couple of studios that do it better than them, or at least on par with them. And even then, it's kind of iffy. The problem is just, like, they've also proven that they're, like, really good designers. And so it's kind of a shame that all of their games are too depressing, because that really kills replayability on my end. Let's go Rings of Saturn. Mystical Cheese Lord is the official title of the Wisconsin governor. Okay, I'm actually curious if this guy can hurt me. He cannot. This is probably going to be the easiest boss fight among them, if only because he cannot actually feasibly damage me in any way, shape, or form. The games is an experience versus games is entertainment. Yeah. And it's like, I totally respect their desire to actually have that games as an experience. It just sucks a little bit because sometimes I want to play their specific games for entertainment. But luckily, you know, there's so many other games out there that I'll live. Let's see. Freeze. Let's go for Poke, probably. At this point, I've kind of given up caring about self-damage. Or not self-damage, but taking damage. All I have to do is just go back into tentacle mode and I can get back up to full health. I almost might want to just cut out the first couple runs of this game and just show this this episode, or this specific run, as the only part of the video. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, it's a bad time for me to have an itchy nose, but what am I going to do about it? Can I actually go into the audio? I'm going to just kill the sound effects. There we go, that's better. I'm tired of hearing massive amounts of screaming. Let's go overload, keep stacking that. We're not really able to use the chain lightning as much as I'd like, but still. The game isn't entertaining. Is it a game or a simulation with bells and whistles? It's still a game. Like, games don't have to be fun. I've played a lot of games that are not fun, but they're engaging in some other way. What's a good example? I mean, honestly, Frostpunk is a game and art and a bunch of other things. Like, you can't just gatekeep based on, like, fun factor. Because what might be fun for some people might not be fun for others. So, for example, I'm not a big fan of, how hard, From Software games have gotten, kind of over the last couple years. Like, Dark Souls 2 was the perfect difficulty level for me. It was challenging, but it never felt like anything was too, like, reflex testy. Whereas, like, ever since they put out Bloodborne, it felt like they've gone kind of faster and faster. Let's see, do I even need Reaper at this point? Maybe not. Let's go for Obliterator. More explosions. Yeah, Papers, Please is another good example of a game that, like, is not enjoyable, but should be played. For kind of the same reason. Okay, I just want to grab as much EXP as I possibly can. But I know for some people, like, the stress and suffering of a Souls game very much is, like, a ton of fun, even though, you know, at any one given moment, the person might be swearing up a storm or having a rough time. I actually thought they got easier. Huh. I don't know. I don't do the reflex tests as well. Let's see. Pass through walls or enemies freeze when affected by 4 or more slow effects. Let's go for that one. Because that way I can potentially get it so every hit freezes an enemy fully. I think the thing is, if you've played every Souls game from start to finish, they probably do get easier over time, because your first Souls game is going to be brutal. And then your second and third are going to kind of be easier and easier, until you kind of are used to the tempo of it. And my problem was, I stopped playing them, like, for years on end, and now it's kind of hard to go back. And now it's more squids than explodey dudes. Yup. There is unit variety here, but I'm finding a lot of the unit variety is kind of overshadowed by it trying to kill me. By just sticking whatever it thinks is the most dangerous thing at the time. Let's see. Triggering knockback has a chance of spawning money or health. I think I'll go for that. Okay, it's another explodey boss. Oh, I've frozen him. Can I just keep him frozen? No. How much contact damage does he do? 22. Ouch. There we go. Well, I can safely say I've killed 5,000 enemies in this game. I'm just going to be sitting there on the leaderboard for somebody else to find. Have fun, suckers. And then I'll get beaten out because somebody else is going to figure out an even better build than this and actually be willing to spend the couple of hours required to capitalize on it fully. Okay. My big problem is I'm running out of things that I want to invest in. I wonder if they'll do the 30-minute cutoff or not. Ooh. Even if they don't, I will. So we'll get 30 minutes into this this specific run, and if that doesn't end the run, then I'm just gonna be done. Because I specifically put 2 hours into Steloop the other day, and it was fun, but it certainly needed some kind of ending because once it turned into kind of like a weird black hole abyss and the frame rate started suffering, it stopped being at all enjoyable. I guess if I had like a YouTube video going, but at least for a significant portion of that, I was just I was trying to commentate it. Nothing is more frustrating than trying to commentate over a game that you're bored of. Okay, do we want to do Flourish, Critical Push, or Battle Frenzy? The problem is I don't want half of these. It's bonus crit. I don't need bonus crit. I have 363% crit. Like, unless I can do red crits or something, there's no point in it. I think that system is going to need a major rework on this game. If only because otherwise it's just going to be, kind of meaningless. Like, there's a lot of things about getting your kill streak up, but there are not a lot of things that actually capitalize on it. And admittedly, like, it is fair, getting my kill streak back up again is kind of important, considering if I lose my kill streak, I have to get kind of back up there to get back up to damage. But I only have to hit, like, 70 times before I go back up to full. There we go. I don't know. Oh, 5.5 minutes left. It's weird. Sometimes, well, I guess maybe part of it is it feels like I'm leveling a little slower. Maybe? Maybe not. Explosion, cling to walls, stun chance increase. Well, airborne, I guess I'll snag this. I've noticed this with a couple of bullet heavy type games, that as soon as you stop leveling up at a regular clip, that's usually when the experience starts suffering the most. I think about this often with Vampire Survivors, that once you've maxed out your build and there's nothing else to invest in, it's usually kind of this really boring experience. We're just kind of waiting. Ooh. Okay, they really don't want me to be alive past this point. Holy smokes. It's killing the frame rate a little bit. Alright, let's get up in here. Okay, Speed Demon. More attack speed. Wow, those ripples go for a long time? Kind of surprised by that. I was not expecting them to have the range that they do. Yeah, so there very clearly is some kind of kill limitation where it really doesn't want you to get past, like, X amount of minutes in. What would be better than Vampire Survivors, in your opinion, in the genre? I have a whole video on, like, my top 10 favorites. At the moment, like, Brotato's pretty good. I don't like it as much, but I think a lot of people do. So it's worth probably bringing that one up the most. I really liked Rogue Genesia and Spellbook Demon Slayers, which ironically enough is not actually in that video. Because it had, like, just come out, and so I was like, I'm gonna wait on this one before I mention it. But I would say Rogue Genesia, Spellbook Survivors, and Brotato are your, like, 3 absolute best. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna go for Trickster just because. See why people like Brotato, found it ho-hum myself. Genesia is probably my top at the moment. Yeah. I don't know, if you don't mind meta progression, Rogue Genesia is fantastic. If you hate meta progression, Rogue Genesia sucks. Like, there is no middle ground on that. It is either one or the other, and no middle ground. And so for me, I don't mind meta progression if it's interesting. Though I do find once I hit the limit of the meta progression available in the game, that's usually the point where I kind of check out and I'm done. And so I'm kind of waiting for some more meta progression to show up in that game to give me more of a reason to play. I'm a sucker for meta progression as long as it's interesting, so Genesia is great. Yeah! It just has so many different systems, and the kind of achievement hunting to unlock new little progression bits is, like, super solid. Especially because they all play kind of puzzly in their own right. Okay, more slow? Let's go for the more slow. Because the more slow I've got, the more I freeze. The more I freeze, the less enemies move. I also do bonus damage against frozen enemies, too. Yeah, I think this game has just decided I need to die. And I am saying no. Well, at least not until I hit 30 minutes in. And then it can do what it will. We'll also have enough money for every single bit of purchases. I hope. I'm gonna try and grab everything. Hopefully at the end of a run, there's like a magnet upgrade or something. Or, frankly, I think there should just be a magnet every 5 to 10 minutes. Meta progression of your stat X gets 2 whole more points sucks. I think it worked in Rogue Genesia, if only because there was so much of that, and you actually got to kind of make some decisions. But, what's a good example of a game where the meta progression was just, like, not fun? Skull the Hero Slayer. If I remember right, the meta progression on that one made me frustrated, because you felt, like, genuinely underpowered. Yeah, let's go for cell efficiency. Last Spell did a very good job of it. I really liked it in that one, though I think they've changed the meta progression pretty dramatically. So it might actually be completely different. But yeah, for Skull, I specifically just cheated. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to hate this meta progression and never will enjoy this. So I'm just going to get rid of it entirely and just play the game normal. I think part of it is the game has to feel like it gives you the tools to get the meta progression faster in some interesting manner. And so, like, Genesia definitely does that. Rogue Legacy does that. A lot of games with meta progression don't. Like, it actively is just like, now time to suffer through 100 hours of gameplay before you can actually feel like you have a good build going. Oh, Gunfire Reborn. Good as that game is, the meta progression on it stinks. It stinks so bad. Yeah, Loop Hero had good meta progression. It was pretty basic in a lot of ways, and I wish they had gone deeper with it. But it was definitely fun going between runs. But I would argue that, like, Loop Hero specifically is, like, a true roguelite. A roguelike with heavy meta progression to the point where you're supposed to effectively complete it and then never go back. And I actually find that to be an incredibly compelling experience. When it comes to those games. Oh. Everything dies. Wait, do we have a boss? I'm seeing a evil portal thing. So either we're done or a boss has showed up. I don't know. Well, at least we know there is in fact kind of an ending for this. I'm just gonna snag all my gold. Yeah, developers, if you're listening to this, please, for the love of pizza, just when you hit the 30-minute mark, give us a magnet. Save me the time. I mean, I guess after a certain point, I'm going to run out of things to invest gold into, and at which point it won't matter. I want a pizza. Oh, luckily I got pizza in the freezer. But Shell might want something else. Let's see, F? There's something popping up. But yeah, it's under the timer. I can't see it. I can't interact with it. Oh, E, not F. I'm a goof. Wait, new game +1? What? Why? No! I don't want a new game plus. I want to die! This game does not have nearly enough content in it for an Ascension mode. Like, I'm gonna level up once, but I'm pretty sure, unless it lets me hyperstack things, this game desperately needs more upgrade paths before you can throw me into New Game Plus. And also, I'm not entirely sure, but I think the enemies reset in terms of their, like, overall quality. But yeah, it should have dropped, like, a massive boss or who knows what. Oh well, it's fine. I'll die shortly. I just want to level one more time. It's just so slow. I don't know. I think I might not make it to my next level. I think I might just actively seek death. Look at how little EXP I'm getting from any of this. Yeah, I mean, the game probably didn't intend for you to get to the 30-minute mark so fast. It is true. But, I mean, there's no meta progression, so I don't know. Anyway, it's time for me to die. There are other walls to the arena. I'm pretty sure there are no walls. I guess I could go check that real quick. I'm just going to take the damage. But I think it just goes forever. Did they reset the EXP gain with enemy variety? Yeah. I mean, I think they just reset the enemies. I think these, like, every enemy has a flat amount of HP. That does not change even in New Game Plus. Yeah, no, looks like we're pretty limited. Alright, I'm just gonna wait here. That's the end of that. It's a neat game, and I certainly like this mode a lot better than, like, normal Madshot. Normal Madshot made me frustrated for a number of reasons. This feels a lot better. It still very much feels like it needs work, though. And honestly, I would actually say, I think it might be worth studying a couple of the other a couple other Bullet Heavens just to see how they handle stuff, too. Specifically, I'm thinking, like, for New Game Plus, the way, what is it? Rogues, or Soulstone Survivors, that's it. Like, Soulstone Survivors did a very good job of having you go New Game Plus, and because that game had no upper limits on how many points you could put into anything, it wasn't so bad. In this one, there is no upper limit that you can put into a number of the perks, but most of the perks don't give you anything useful. Specifically, the extra kill streak stuff is just not helpful. Because it doesn't matter. You know, once you're at 100% crit, there's no further bonus. Let's see if they kill me before I get to 8,000 kills. They probably will. Oh yeah, I'm nearing death here. I think this guy's gonna hug me to death. Thank you. I did manage to kill quite a lot of enemies after I gave up. Look at those scores. What about global? Where do I rank? Oh, you can't see a global leaderboard. You can just see maybe my own. Well, it's fine. Alright, so we can buy everything if we want to. Yep, we have bought everything. Let's see, any of these that are actually interesting? Lightning bolt, solid platforms, electrical. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Slices in a 360 degree arc around you. Like, some of these actually might have merits. But it's fine. For now, though, I'm going to go play something else. But I'll keep an eye on this one. It has the potential to be incredibly good, but it has a number of design decisions that might want to be reevaluated just because, I don't know, could be better. But for now, yeah, let's move on to the next.